In this video, I'm going to talk about how you can change your mindset to change your life. And I'm going to share with you some practical tips that you can use to improve the quality of your life experience. Now, my name is Robbie Cornelius, and I'm a ninth grade high school dropout. And I'm telling you that to let you know that I wasn't some guy that was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. At the age of 7, I was involved in a car accident that nearly claimed my life. By the age of 9 or 10, I witnessed my uncle get murdered. And by the age of 15, I realized that I grew up in one of the most toxic households you could ever imagine. At 17, my alcoholic and abusive father passed away on his birthday when I was 16 years old. And it took me nearly 11 years after his death to forgive him for everything that he'd done to not only me, but to my dear mother. And so I pulled myself up from the trenches at the age of 27. I made a conscious decision to no longer blame anyone for my shortcomings. And that's one of the first things I want to talk to you about. It all starts with the decision. It all starts with you making up your mind that you have had enough of the way things have been for you. Until you are willing to make that clear decision that you've had enough, until you are eager to make a life-changing announcement, not to anyone else, but to yourself, until you're willing to abandon the story that you've been telling yourself, you won't necessarily have the energy it takes to change your mindset so that you can improve the quality of your life experience. That's the first thing I did. At the age of 27, it was either commit suicide or change my life, and I chose to change my life. What did changing my life look like? It meant for me not blaming anyone for my circumstances, not blaming my father, which meant that I had to forgive my father even 11 years after his death. It meant that I would no longer blame the government for the way my life turned out. I would no longer blame being black and being a descendant of slaves for the reason why my life was the way it was. It meant that I had to make peace with the past in order to capture, embrace, and command my future. Now, I know so many people who are so focused on the past that they are abandoning their real power, because the real power is in the now. People have an infatuation with history. They go through a couple of hardships, they go through a couple of heartbreaks. Does them dirty in the past, and that's where they give the vast majority of their attention to. And it's no wonder why so many people feel stuck. The reason why you feel stuck is because mentally you are stuck in a vibrational pattern that is connected to the past. So at the age of 27, it meant that for me, I had to forgive everyone and everything. Forgive everyone that I truly believed had done me wrong, not because it let them off the hook, but because it let me off the hook emotionally. If you are blaming anyone for the trials and tribulations in your life, you are unconsciously insinuating that those individuals have more control over your life than you do. And do you want that to be the truth? Why would you even admit that another person has more control over your emotions than you have over your own emotions? When we admit that at a conscious or unconscious level, it insinuates that we are powerless. And that's why so many people are under the subordinate of an authority. That is the first decision, to own your life. If you're not willing to own your life will be owned by somebody else. If you are not willing to live in your full power of this moment, then automatically you are a slave to the past. And because so many people are a slave to the past, it's no wonder why they're anxious about the future, why they're hopeless about the future. That doesn't have to be you. It starts today, making a decision. I, fill in the blank, am consciously choosing to own my life. What does that look like? It means becoming conscious of the thoughts I allow to live in my brain. It means becoming conscious of where I allow my eyeballs to focus on the most. It means becoming conscious of the information I allow into my brain. It means becoming emotionally conscious of the way I allow outside information, outside people, outside places to affect who I am and how I feel about who I am and where I am in this world. It means waking up every single day with a purpose. What's a purpose? A purpose is a destination. It's a mission. Waking up every single day with a mission. What's your mission? See, at the time, I didn't have a mission. Before the age of 27, I wandered around aimlessly, trying to get in where I fit in, doing what I thought others wanted me to do to be accepted by others. You see, another thing you have to do is you have to walk away from people. This is another thing that holds so many people back, because often the very friends that you have at a lower level are not going to be the same friends that support you at a higher level. I had to level up my whole life. I called a meeting with all my friends at the time. Hey guys, the Robbie that you used to know is no longer the Robbie that you're going to see in the future. Here's the direction I'm headed in. And if you're with me, we can rock together. But if you're not with me, it's been good knowing you. I called this meeting because I don't want you to think that I sold out behind your back. I'm selling out to your face. And I played the movie The Secret on Netflix. And when the movie was over, turned the lights on, and 99% of the room was asleep. I said my farewells to everybody, but I don't think they knew how serious I was, because I was headed in a different direction mentally. I was emotionally committed to it. And you have to make a firm decision in your brain and get your heart to become emotionally committed to it, because we are emotional individuals and we behave based off the way we feel. So if you want to live good, you got to commit to feeling good. If you want to live a certain way, you got to commit to feeling a certain way. You have to be emotionally convinced that you are dedicated to the mission that you've just decided for yourself. Now, some people like Sam Harris will say that we don't have free will. I beg to differ. I believe most people don't exercise their free will. It's like a reserve that most people don't ever tap into. But I believe you can tap into your free will by stopping and asking yourself, am I living my life, or am I living the life I think someone else wants me to live? And then from there, you make a conscious decision to commit to what you believe is the life you've been born to live. But because so many people are afraid of walking away from the people they've always known, they continue to live the way they've always lived and wonder, why doesn't my life get any better? Because the environment you are in, the people you associate with, are used to you playing a certain character. And because you hang around those people all the time, you have to keep playing the character they think you are, which means you can't change, which means you're going to keep living the same life every single day. Groundhog Day. Who are you really? And that is a answer that I truly believe you can only give yourself. See, living like this requires that you take 100% responsibility for the quality. Notice I said quality of your overall life experience. That means that anything that comes my way, I truly believe that I can change it because I accept that I had a role in creating it. How to change your mind to change your life starts with deciding that you're going to change your life. And when you understand that you're not living a life, but in fact that you are life itself living, then you consciously understand that in order for life to change, you have to change, because in the act of you changing, you are life changing itself. I became a beast in my mind. I started to command my brain. I started to command my heart, because you know the brain and the mind are different things. I started to command my brain, command my heart, and that automatically meant that I commanded my mind. And when I got emotionally involved, when I got emotionally sold on the vision that I have inside of myself, I didn't see anything else. That was 2011, and I've been living like that every day since. And when I look around me, the friends that I had when I was poor are not the same friends that I have while I'm rich. The friends that I had when I was depressed are not the same friends that I had when I started to allow myself to express all that I truly am, all that I am capable of becoming. Those old friends couldn't handle the new Robbie. Fun fact, they never knew Robbie. How can you know? How can your friends know a person that you don't even know? You don't even know yourself until you decide who you are. That's how you change your life for the better, by changing your mindset. Setting your mind. Mindset is the act of setting your mind. What is mind? Mind is activity. Mind is energy. And when you set your mind, you are literally giving yourself a command. And that will become the stuff you pay attention to. And you start to mimic what you pay attention to. So, what did I start to pay attention to? I started to pay attention to inspirational information. I ignored everything that told me that I couldn't do something. I ignored the politics. I ignored the talks of economic downturn. I ignored, oh, you're black, so you have it hard in America. I ignored that story. I ignored it to the point where even other black people called me names because they felt like I'd sold out to a skin color, and they were right, because I sold out to the ideology that I had to be a victim living in America, and I bought into the mindset that I could do anything I put my mind to. And that's what it takes to be successful. And that's what your old ass friends don't want you to become. They want you to unconsciously want you to stay as you are, because it makes them feel better about dealing with you. You have to adopt a savage mindset when it comes to changing your life. And I don't mean savage in a bad way. I mean, you have to become militant on changing yourself for the better. Not hoping, wishing, and praying, oh, please make my life better. No, none of that. But what you're doing is you're working on yourself day and night. You're conditioning yourself. You become the life you want to experience. So many people, oh, I want to be rich. You have to become rich in mind. You have to become rich in character before you ever become rich physically. And here's what most people tell you. Oh, it's stupid to fake it till you make it. You have to become it until you live it. Because when you become it, you will eventually live it. So what do? Do you continue to explain to people over and over again what you're creating? Or do you just separate from people and say, you know what? Screw explaining to you what I'm doing. I'm just going to go over here and do it silently. And that's what I did. Before I ever had a dollar in my pocket, I started telling people, "Oh, you can believe you could create anything you wanted to create." No one took me serious. I said, "Screw it." And I went over there and I started living it. And now what happened? Bro, I'm sorry. You wasn't with me on the journey. Now, there are going to be people that you meet along the way that see something great in you. And those people are going to disguise themselves as someone that wants to see you win. But even some of those people don't want to see you rise higher than them. They don't want to see you rise higher than their authority over your life. So you even have to be careful about the life coaches that you come across and the mentors that you come across, because sometimes your mentor doesn't want you to rise above his authority or her authority over you either. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm fired up today. Fired up. Why? Because I know what it takes for you to master yourself. Connect with me. Web Asset Group app. It's on your app store right now. It's on Apple. It's on Android. Web Asset Group. Just type it in, download it, set up a free account, send me a message. Let me know you heard this message. But if you're already here, welcome. Master yourself.